Anur, as CDO of Prudential, what's your view on the customer experience changes?
Look, I think it's led us to down two paths. One is we're already on a path, thankfully, to digitalize, I think is the expression, the whole business anyway. But what is certainly accelerated, as Peter and Yamini said, in many ways, to try and understand right from the beginning how you attract customers, because this is I think Peter called it a high friction thing. It's not so much high friction as little understood. Especially today's consumers don't really get the word insurance, right? So why do they need it? Usually it's developed by a face-to-face conversation over many, many conversations. So how do we get the digital world to replicate in some ways, or at least, I would say not replicate, I would say make it better. So I think what we're finding is the kind of consumers that, let's say, some of us are, we prefer fast, quick reaction. We want to study things ourselves. We want to compare. We want to go to sites and do all sorts of things, research, Gartner research, whatever it is, right? And there's the other consumer who wants to rely on friends, who wants to get references. So there's all sorts of different experiences. How are you going to replicate all of that without knowing the customer in the first place? So that's really the engineering of the experience in a sense, right? And then how do you engage them so they understand it's good for them? So we worked on a scheme where we've developed something which allows the customer to see what's good for them. So we call it making the customer healthier and wealthier. So if we can get them to feel that, and then as the sneaker mail example, by the way, that's a very old example in some ways, but I love the storytelling better this time, Peter. Is exactly right. So a lot of things are still finished not digitally because the regulations still demand that. So one of the things we might explore later is how we get the regulators to face up to this. Some of them did it temporarily, and some of them are doing it permanently. So that's another point of friction. So there's a consumer, but also what we get the regulator to force upon the consumer. And then how do we protect the consumer so we don't get this spamming, I think someone talked about, and irritation and all those things. So the whole end-to-end journey, really from attraction, engagement, if you like, monetization, the whole journey needs to be rethought properly in a consumer sense. And that's really not done in most companies. So that's really, I would say that's what we're working on.